holy shit, Sam Alvey is the double champ. Like, I have to find it, and I'll play that clip maybe like next week or something. But I was like not absolutely shocked, but just absolutely shocked that I got to see it in person, right? I think a lot of hype was on Tyrone just because of who he is, the stature of the man he was, how many accolades he has. Like I said in the press conference, this man has more accolades than I have brain cells, which is kind of far-fetched, but it is up there. Like, he has a shit ton of accolades. Tyrone Spong is not a slouch whatsoever. And to just see Sam Alvey just pure boxing, striking, and showing why Karate Combat is what it is, man. It gets no better than that. I'm gonna swing it down to pickers. Talk to me, baby.
Yeah, the fact that he got it done with boxing is absolutely incredible. Tyrone Spong is a multiple-time boxing world champion, other than his kickboxing and his Muay Thai escapades. So the fact that Sam Alvey was able to kind of get him in his own wheelhouse was extremely, extremely impressive. I think the biggest takeaway here for me was the uniqueness of the pit. It's kind of like what we saw in the UFC the same weekend, where Bo Nickel got, kind of ran through by Reiner de Ritter as a minus 300 favorite. You might be good at wrestling, you might be good at kickboxing, you might be good at boxing, but the same way MMA is its own sport, this is really its own sport. And to go into the pit with all of the specific rule sets, and obviously, the pit wall as opposed to ropes changes the dynamic, the footwork, the range, the spacing, then the 4-ounce gloves on top of that. Sam Alvey is really king of the pit. Absolutely. And I mean, he just went in there with one of the biggest legends in striking, period, and laid him out cold. So I don't know how you would dispute that at this point.
Yeah. 100% agree with that one. Mac Tyson, my guy. You watched Sam Alvey from the beginning of him entering in Karate Combat to now becoming the freaking double champ of the world. How you feeling? What's your thoughts on this, brother?
Well, the obvious needs to be said is that there is some truth that Tyrone Spong is not in the prime of his career. He is coming off a long layoff, and he showed some ring rust in the first round, which is true. And he was starting to get warmed up in the second before he got knocked out by Sam Alvey. But I see a lot of people making those arguments, and those are good points to make. But that doesn't take away from how monumental this win was for Tyrone Spong, because everybody knew this going into this fight, but people still thought that it was a lamb going to slaughter for Sam Alvey. People were still underestimating him. You cannot take away how big this was for him. And the one thing that you can't take away was the fight IQ that Sam Alvey showed. I know a lot of people are putting a lot of focus on his boxing, but in his first round, his kicking game was amazing. I literally broke it down on X that he was going low with those calf kicks repeatedly, getting Spong to think low. Then he went high with it, and he landed that head kick. But he did.
Not to cut you off, was the first head kick he ever landed in his MMA career.
Yeah. Honestly, it feels like he was saving that just for Spong, because that's the best way you can surprise someone, is never use something in your entire career and just throw it out there. But the way he also recovered from it, because this is a mistake that some karate fighters make when they're transitioning to full contact, is they're very good at landing the strike, but and they'll use that lead leg snap kick the same way Sam Alvey did to the head, but then they'll plant there and they'll stay within striking range, and that's how they get knocked out, because they're staying within striking range. What Sam Alvey did, which was very smart, was he used what is called in karate sugiyashi, or a pendulum step back to regain the distance. And as Tyrone Spong was coming forward, he was able to really land some strikes to keep him out on that distance.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, I absolutely, hold on. I absolutely love this guy right here in the back. If you guys see this guy right here, this guy, yo, he goes absolutely insane when Sam wins. He's just like the whole time, he's like, yes! He's absolute energy, bro. But moving on to my man at the bottom, not the last, but not certainly not least, my man Mallory Woods, man. Hey, man, seeing Karatecas get it done. How you feeling, baby?
Hey, man, congratulations to Smiling Sam. Give that man his flowers right now. A couple of things happened that was really interesting. I got to definitely give a side shout out to one of Sam's last few opponents within a while. Ross Levine was out congratulating Sam out on Instagram. He was very impressed with that. And as we see, as in this replay, Sam looked like he was so fast. I was like, where is this Sam been hiding? Smooth. Look at the thing. Look at the stepping through and everything. And this knockout is clean. It is just absolutely just, man. And then the one pause to not deal out any more punishment was like, well, ref's not going to stop. I got to do one more. Yeah. These are some of the cleanest techniques that I've seen Sam Alvey. So I love the fact that, like you could say this redemption story. Everyone was talking about, his losing streak in the UFC, this, that, and the other. This man is reinvented. He is the king of the pit. Come see him if you want these hands on display right here. 2 for $1. Make you holler, whatever you want. Get them while they're hot. Sam is serving them up right from his food truck, and you could not meet a nicer couple. Shout out to his wife as well, who is an absolute gem.
Yes.
Always in his corner, always sparring with him. I wouldn't want that. But, this is what you get. So congratulations to Sam Alvey.
Yeah. And shout out his wife. She does spar 5 rounds with him before his fights. But my homie Keith was there. Shout out Keith Berry. He was there, who fought, which was absolutely insane. This is why I love working in combat sports, right? The night before of this fight, if you look right here, this guy with the black hat on, the night before, me and Sam and Leo Gomez cornered him in the main event for Crypto Fight Night in boxing, and he won by TKO. The next night, he cornered Sam to win the double champ status by KO, TKO. I don't know how they scored it. I would say that should be a KO, but it could possibly be a TKO because he had to give one for good measure. I think Tyrone was a little bit there still, but that last one kind of just like put him out, and Mark got it over after that point. But absolutely insane to see that. I'm just blessed to be able to see. Keeps one a really good friend of mine. Sam, somebody I've become a friend of over these last months of watching him fight and being a part of Karate Combat, and just to see those two, man, go to Dubai, represent for America, bring back some good old wins from the main events, man, was a fucking beautiful thing to see, man.
It's officially a knockout for Sam Alvey.
Officially a knockout. Awesome. That is beautiful. Even better, man. You love to see it, man. So yeah, shout out his wife, man. But so what I was getting at is Keith picked up a few of the rounds. She didn't have to do a full 5 this time. Keith picked up a few of the rounds for her this time. So he was in there. He had some big boys to go with. And Keith's also somebody he trains with at Extreme Couture almost before every fight. He goes to Vegas. He trains at Extreme Couture before every fight. So Keith is also like a big part of kind of his regimen of getting ready over these last few fights. In the Arroyo fight, this fight, and the fight before he went over there. And it showed. He's going to Extreme Couture. Those boys know how to wrestle over there. Those boys know how to strike over there. There's a lot of big boys over there that he can get working with. And it's showing, right? It's kind of a similar thing where the guys going down to Go Shed, and it kind of showing, improvement in what they're doing. So shout out Sam Alvey, the double champ of the world. Now, here's a question. Where do we go from here? I got a little information on that. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So heavyweight, I don't think we'll see anything for a little bit. But from what I'm hearing in the rumblings is that they are looking for a light heavyweight super fight for him coming up next for the belt, which makes perfect sense. And I think just thinking off of that, I haven't got any options yet, but just off the top of my brain, you got guys that we've already utilized that are out there, like Luke Rockhold. That could be a possible name that could be thrown in the pot. You also have names that he's thrown out there, also talked about on Air Hawani, like Uriah Hall.
He's called out Darren Till in the past.
He's also called out Darren Till in the past. Somebody that we
I like that one.
Somebody we all kind of want to see do striking. So I think within the next few months we should hear something about some type of light heavyweight super fight. I think they're gonna give Sam a little bit to kind of enjoy. Shout out Sam. Also, yesterday was his birthday. Happy belated birthday to the champ. Yesterday was his birthday. So I think they're gonna give him a little time for the birthday and his family, and all traveling into Dubai. It's a lot. And then I think they're going to be working on a light heavyweight super fight for him, which I absolutely love. Now, who it is going to be, I have no idea. These things go, it's a bunch of variables with this. Money, availability, people actually wanting to fight him, especially after you seeing what he done to Tyrone Spong. Like, things get a little rough. So I for the fans out there who are trying to figure out what's next for Sam Alvey, be looked forward. More than likely, 90% chance it will be a light heavyweight super fight. Which I absolutely love. I'm not upset with that. the light heavyweight, it's a few light heavyweights that I feel like are close to championship contentionship. I feel like they do need quite a few more fights. You have the Gaievs and stuff out there. Some of them have some redemption to do. And I honestly want to see a few other guys kind of duke it out before, they get a chance at the double champ. So with that being said, does anybody have any, before we move on to the next one, anybody have any light heavyweights that they want to see Sam go against for a super fight pickers?
Artem Vakitov.
Oh, Leo Gomez, listen up, baby. My
Think
boy,
about it. He was on DWCS.
he was.
He had a great performance.
100%.
Turned down his UFC contract because they offered him 12-12 and refused to offer him anything else. It's a beautiful move for Karate Combat because this is literally a guy with 2 wins over Alex Pereira, who was top of the world in glory. If you set up that light heavyweight super fight, either Sam Alvey continues killing striking legends, or you end up with one of the best strikers in the world as your champ. Well, either way, you end up with one of the best strikers in the world as your champion. But you can't go wrong there.
Nah, I don't think you go wrong at all there. That's a beautiful matchup too. I'm gonna have to text that one to Leo. Like, hey Leo, man, did you think about this one? Even though I have absolutely no pull. Mal, you got one?
I want to flip this to a different question.
Ooh, let me
because
hear it.
we're talking about what's next. Where does Tyrone Spong go in this case? Does he hang around? Does he ask for another chance in the pit, or was it one and done?
How old is he?
Yeah, 40 something, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Either right there at his 40s or early 40s.
And how much money he has then?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of kickboxing fans would like to see
39
him at this point.
39. He'll be 40 this year.
If he's got all that money put away and he can't compete at the level he used to, I would imagine a lot of athletes who go from title contention to jobber contention will just retire. But usually it's financial at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It could go either way, man. I think maybe we see him again, maybe in another super fight setting. But I don't know, man. That's completely up to him. From what he told me, from what he said to everybody at the press conference when I asked him, at the weigh-ins, ceremonial weigh-ins, was that he was fighting for his son, and he was fighting to show his son. And after that, he said, I don't give a fuck about any of this other shit. He literally said, I don't care about any of this other shit. I was like, all right, cool. My job is null here. Let me move on. But it was fighting for his son. And I don't think, from my meeting of him and like talking to him and stuff, I don't think that he has the type of character to not go back in and kind of leave on a W. But we don't know what's in his mind right now, right? We don't know what's going on. So hopefully, he's not taking it too hard. He's fought a massive amount of times. It's not his first loss at all. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough question, pickers. Like, do we see Tyrone Spong again? I would hope so. I would hope that we do see him again. I honestly was very excited to see him fight. Not much of a fight builder. He's not much of a builder of fights. I think his name speaks so much for himself that he kind of is in that realm where he's like, man, look, I knocked so many people out. I ain't even gotta build fights no more. Yeah, I don't gotta say nothing no more. So yeah, he's not much of a fight builder, but also is a great name to have on a card. I think it's a very familiar face for people, especially for people coming from the kickboxing and boxing world, which coincides really close to Karate Combat with being the striking league. So, man, one shout out to him for even doing it. Shout out Sam for getting the double champ status, being the first in Karate Combat. It's beautiful, man. And we'll see, man. These divisions are starting to spice up, man. Starting to spice up.